Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's session. Apologies for the being a little late today, but unexpected events occurred that delayed a little bit. So, welcome to today's session. Today, we're working on intimacy and sexuality, as well, because it's February and Valentine's Day is coming soon. So, I thought we would be a nice thing to focus on. So let's get started. I'm just going to show the muscle check just so that you're aware of what it looks like. So my on response is like this and my off response is like that. And the muscle check basically indicates where we need to go in the process in order to shift what needs to be shifted for this group of people who are participating in today's session. And it will also show resonance. So when we repeat a statement, we will see if we're resonating with. So that means that our energy matches the energy, the frequency of that statement. So let's get started. As you know, with the qualities group sessions, we don't really have a particular repatterning that I've chosen for this session. So we'll see what the people who are participating in this group today need in terms of transforming their relationship with intimacy and sexuality. So I'm going to just check in. So for this group of people who are participating today, is it best to start with resonance repatterning? It's not. Is it best to start with Maggie Block? It is. So bear with me while I just open the correct book. Are we starting in the guide? No. We're into a particular transformation then. Yes. And is it in attracting the love of your life? Family systems. The systems? Yes, we're going to the systems book. So let me just find that book and open it. Bear with me a moment. This is healing the systems. So this is a system that is not a family system. Maggie Block's work is based on many different modalities, but it has very strong elements of the family constellation. Oh dear, they're drilling upstairs. I hope you can't hear that. So in this book, we're looking at which particular transformation we need that's connected to a system, but it's not necessarily the family system. So which transformation is needed right now? Is it orders for giving, orders for receiving? Do we need to hear something from the introduction? Yes. So I'm going to be muscle checking which bits we need to hear as a group. So here we go. To live life, we need to receive what nurtures us. It is only by receiving what is favorable to us that we can grow. When we receive life, oxygen, nourishment, and care, it can be said we are alive. And it is only when we have received enough that we can begin giving to others. But receiving is the first step. Although this is logical and natural, something happens to many people in the process of growing up, which blocks their capacity to receive. There are many possible causes for our developing negative patterns that hinder us from receiving in a positive way. It might be that as a newborn, a baby will perceive a non-satisfied need in one of his parents. And because of love, they will try to satisfy this need in the parent. This makes the baby internally adopt the role of the elder and give to the father or mother instead of receiving from them. Then each time the baby has a need, instead of it getting its needs satisfied, the baby becomes very attentive to other people's needs, especially to the needs of the person whom the baby wants to receive from. All their energy and attention is then centered on satisfying the other person's needs, and the baby forgets his own needs. This is what the baby learns to do during his first years of life, and he keeps repeating the pattern automatically. The problem is that the baby cannot satisfy the other person's needs, or help or nurture himself or herself. When during the first years of life vital needs are not satisfied, negative beliefs are generated. These in turn create patterns which reinforce limitations, guaranteeing a continued reality where needs remain unsatisfied. Here's something else. No, we don't need to hear anything else. So we're going to go straight to the receiving transformation. This is orders for receiving transformation. All right. So we have a problem around receiving. So I'm going to go to your notes that you submitted. So it seems to be around intimacy that this session is centered. So I cannot receive intimacy something else is needed. No, this is it. We need something about sexuality. No, this is it. Okay, so is it best for us then to check resonance with these statements? It is, and this is general. So please say, I cannot receive intimacy. As you say this out loud, pay attention to your body, getting in tune with what it is that you're feeling, where you're feeling. Is there tension? Is there any other kind of sensation in your body? Cannot receive intimacy, checking resonance for the group. That is on. All right, so we're going to look at a relationship where we need to receive what nurtures us. So I do not receive what nurtures me from we need to name a person. Yes, my spouse, my partner, my loved ones. It's a particular person. It's a group of people. It is. So it is family, loved ones, friends, intimates, from my intimates. And that would include anybody that you have an intimate relationship with. This is a general muscle check. So please say, I do not receive what nurtures me from my intimates. Checking resonance for the group, that is on. So we're now going to look at the negative pattern regarding limits when receiving. So it's 1 through 5. So the first rule of giving and receiving is to ask for what can be given and take only what you need. All right? So there are 12 options here. It's 1 through 5, 6 through 10, 6, 7. So it's my intimate's obligation to help me be better. So this is the negative pattern that we've stuck with at the moment. This is general. So please say, it's my intimate's obligation to help me be better. Checking resonance for the group. That is on. All right, we're going to now look at the negative pattern regarding circumstances when receiving. So this is the second rule when receiving, which is accept circumstances as they are and only interfere when it is possible. So often we try to change things that can't be changed, and we interfere in situations when we shouldn't interfere. So this is what this is addressing. So there's a negative pattern. There are again 12 statements. It's 1 through 5. It's 1, it's 2. My intimates have control and power over what happens to me. This is general. So please say, my intimates have control and power over what happens to me. That is on. We're now going to look at the negative pattern regarding the way that we relate when receiving. So the third rule of receiving is behave as an adult, and relate to others as equals, to avoid placing yourself in the role of the son or daughter. unless of course you're talking about your parents, right? But we're looking at relationships in general, not the ones that relationships with peers. So there's 16 options here. It's 1 through 5, 6 through 10, it's 11, it's 12. Excuse me, it's number 12. Yes. If I receive from my intimates, I lose control. This is general. But this is interesting because the previous statement, I'm going to wait for the plane to pass just in case you can hear it. Okay, so it's interesting that the previous statement was saying that we actually resonate with our intimates having control and power over us. But in this statement, we're saying that if we receive from them, we lose control. So by receiving, we're basically giving them control and power over us, which is not a very coherent way of viewing the world, and therefore this is why this group, it appears, struggles with intimacy at the moment. So please say, if I receive from my intimates, I lose control. Checking resonance, that is on. So we need the next statement. So the next statement is the negative pattern regarding excluding the family system when receiving. So if we don't have our family system in order, then we can't receive effectively or give effectively. And so this is the fourth rule when receiving. To perceive ourselves as part of our family, along with our parents, ancestors, spouses, partners, and offspring. So there are 12 options. It's 1 through 5, 6 through 10. It's 6, it's 7. And 7 is, I exclude my family systems perpetrators. This is general. Now remember that a family system, it includes all the blood connections that you have with people you have married, you have had relationships with, and also it includes people who have harmed and people who have been harmed by members of the system. So it's quite an extensive group of people. So what's happening here is that we're excluding the perpetrators, which means that when you exclude somebody from the family system because what they did was terrible and we can't possibly include them, what this does is that there is nobody to carry their burden. The harm that they caused gets carried by the people who were harmed. So it's very important that we include the perpetrators in our family system, and we accept and respect them. We treat them with dignity and respect so that they can assume responsibility for what it is that they have done. If we do not do this, they will never assume responsibility, so someone else carries that burden. And the people who are carrying that burden are suffering because they are carrying the fate of this other person who acted in such a terrible way. So please say, I exclude my family system's perpetrators. Checking resonance for the group, that is on. Now we're going to look at the negative pattern regarding differences when receiving. So the fifth rule when it comes to receiving is that all people to love all people as they are in spite of differences. So the negative pattern is 1 through 5, 6 through 10, it's 11, it's 12. I am close to everything that is different from my beliefs. And this is general. We see that a lot these days. I think a lot of people are resonating with this because there is no dialogue anymore. We just block people, we ghost people, we just go onto social media where we only see things because of the algorithms that we agree with, and we do not ever learn to accept people despite our differences, because we always have more in common with people than we have differences. So this is a general muscle check, yes. So please say I am close to everything that is different from my beliefs. Checking resonance for the group. That is on. So we're going to now look at the negative pattern about how that we perceive in the person in which we're relating to. So in this case, it's our intimates. So it's 1 through 5, 6 through 10, 6, 7. My intimates are like my father. This is what's needed. This is general. So please say my intimates are like my father. Checking resonance for the group. That is on. So this isn't a truth. This is what we are resonating with. So when we see other people, the people we're intimate with, our friends or family, whoever they may be, we perceive them as being like our father, even if that is not the truth. There's a resonance there, and so that affects our perception. So there is a negative belief that was learned during childhood that we need to identify. It's 1 through 5, through 10, through 15, it's 11, it's 12. So please say, nothing is of any use. Checking resonance for the group, that is on. It's a rather depressing thought, isn't it? All right, so now we're going to look at the systemic loyalties that hinder us from receiving in a positive way. So it's 1 through 5, 6 through 10, 6, 7, 8. My parents, okay, so it's 8. This is general. It's optimally phrased. So please say, out of love for my father, I fail. Checking resonance for the group, that is on. Of course, that might be something that our father would never wish for us, but at some point in our life, we made this unconscious promise to our father that we would fail. So there's an early experience that we need to identify here. No, okay. We need to acknowledge the negative patterns. So is this something that we need to do with tapping? Yes. And is it the energy centers? It's EFT. Do we need to tap all the statements? We do. So we're going to kind of combining the two methods here, because we're going to we checked resonance, and now we're going to be tapping on these beliefs, I guess, statements that we collected. So we're going to start on the crown of the head. So just tap on the crown of the head and please say, I cannot receive intimacy. I'm going to go to the eyebrow. I do not receive what nurtures me from my intimates. Side of the eye. It is my intimate's obligation to help me be better. Under the eye. My intimates have control and power over me. My intimates have control and power over what happens to me. The upper lip. If I receive from my intimates, I lose control. Under the lip. I exclude my family system's perpetrators. I'm going to go to the point here underneath the clavicle. I am closed to everything that is different from my beliefs. Let's tap the points on the nail, so the base of the nail. Nothing is of any use. My intimates are like my father. Out of love for my father, I fail. I'm going to tap the karate chop point. I recognize these limiting patterns, and now I choose to let them go. I let these patterns go right now. And breathe. All right, maybe take a sip of water. And let's move on. So we need to identify what we need to want to receive in relation to what's being transformed. So what do we want to receive from our intimates? I receive intimacy and what nurtures me from my intimates. This is general. It is optimally phrased. Yes. So please say, I receive intimacy and what nurtures me from my intimates. That is on. So checking umbilically by putting the fingers of the left hand in front of the belly button. That's off. So an umbilical muscle check is when we have something that's deeply unconscious. So on the conscious level, we are resonating with that, but unconsciously, we are not. So we're going to look at now the positive pattern that we need when setting regarding limits when receiving. So this is again rule number 1: ask for what can be given and take only what is needed. So what is needed here? It's 1 through 5, through 10, through 15, it's 11, it's 12. Oops, 12. 12. I accept and appreciate what my intimates can give me. This is general. So please say I accept and I appreciate what my intimates can give me. Checking resonance for the group. That is off. Now we're going to look at the positive pattern regarding circumstances when receiving. And this is again the second rule: accept circumstances as they are and only interfere when it is possible. It's 1 through 5, 6 through 10, through 15, it's 16. And this is general. Please say my intimates stand beside me, helping me to face my circumstances. That's off. All right, we're going to look at the positive pattern regarding how we relate when receiving. It's 1 through 5, 6 through 10, 6, 7. I honor my parents and receive plenty of what my intimates give me. This is general. Please say I honor my parents and receive plenty of what my intimates give me. Checking resonance. That is off. Okay, we're looking at the pattern, positive pattern, to include the family system members when receiving. It's 1 through 5, 6 through 10, it's 11. I acknowledge the systemic causes of my pattern and heal them. This is general. So please say I acknowledge the systemic causes of my patterns and heal them. Checking resonance for the group. That is off. So we're going to look at now the positive pattern regarding differences when receiving. 1 through 5, 6 through 10, 11, 12, 13. This is general, so please say, I accept that my intimates' values are different from mine. Taking resonance. That is off. And we're looking at the positive pattern about how we perceive that we perceive in the person who helps us. So this is what the opposite, basically, of what we were looking at before, which is being close to everything, that our intimates are like our father. That was the non-coherent pattern. So what is the coherent one? 1 through 5, 6 through 10, 15, it's 11, it's 12. So please say, my intimates let me be in charge of my life. Checking resonance, that's off. All right, and we're looking at the positive belief that needs to be integrated. 1 through 5, 6 through 10, through 15, it's 11, it's 12. This is general. Please say, what I receive is useful. Taking resonance for the group. That's off. All right, we're looking at now the positive systemic loyalties that need to be integrated. 1 through 5, 6 through 10, 6, 7, 8. Okay, out of love for... Now, is it still my father? It is. I succeed. This is general. Please say, out of love for my father, I succeed. Checking resonance for the group. That is off. Okay, we need to acknowledge the patterns. Do we need to do tapping again? Do we need to do something else? Yes, is it tat? Is it REM? Okay, we're going to be doing REM. Just let me type out this. So REM means that it's rapid eye movement that happens when we sleep, and it helps us process memories and information and everything. So we're going to be moving, the eyes need to move across the midline of the body. So do we need to move left and right? We need to do figure eight. So we're going to do figure eights with the eyes. It helps if you use your thumb and just follow your thumb, but you need to make sure you're going up in the middle, okay? So go up in the middle and just follow your thumb around with your eyes, okay? You're not moving your head, you're moving just your eyes. And we're going to repeat all the coherent statements. I receive intimacy. And what nurtures me? From my intimates. I accept and appreciate what my intimates can give me. My intimates stand beside me, helping me to face my circumstances. I honor my parents and receive plenty of what my intimates give me. I acknowledge the systemic causes of my patterns and heal them. I accept that my intimates' values are different from mine. What I receive is useful. Out of love for my father, I succeed. If your arm is tired, you can switch. Do it with your other hand. I choose to integrate and learn all of these positive patterns right now. Okay, and breathe. Take a sip of water. We need a concrete action. We do. It's 1, it's 2, it's 3, it's 4. Okay, it's a consciousness transformation action. Is it from the same book? No, it's from Healing the Family. It is. Let me just open Healing the Family. In fact, actually, I have this book printed. Let's see if we can just look straight in the index. So which exercise is needed? If on the first page? Is it on the second page? Is it on the third page? M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V. We need destructive conducts. All right. All right, so the causes of destructive conducts, as in the case of addictions to alcohol or drugs, is generally that the client hasn't been able to take their mother or father. The purpose of this exercise is that the client or the family member who has the destructive conduct can take their father with their mother's permission and vice versa. So who needs to be here, the one with the destructive conduct? Is it us, the members of this group? Is it one of our parents? Is it mother? Is it father? So for the group, what's checking is our father. Now, whether you're aware that your father had this, or whether they actually displayed it, or it's just merely a resonance, it doesn't matter. This in no way can harm. It will only do good. And so what we will do is we'll do a visualization. So our father is the child in this exercise. And so what we're going to do is imagine our father as a child. And just as you close your eyes and imagine your father, this is your biological father, as a child, then you can have a sense of how old they are. Generally, they're a small child, but you do need to see them as a child. And imagine their parents there, your father's mother and your father's father. And as you close your eyes, see your father as a child saying to his mother, "Mother, I need my father." And he needs to repeat this, "Mother, I need my father." And then see him turn to his father and say, "Father, now I take you and I give you a place. And by doing so, I let go of my destructive conduct. Father, now I take you and I give you a place. And by doing so, I let go of my destructive conduct." And now have this child's mother, so your father's mother, tell him, "This is your father, and it is fine for you to take him. Now I accept this." Okay, good. Now we're going to do the same with your father's dad. So have him turn and look at his father. See him turn and look at his father and say, "Father, I need my mother." And then have him turn to his mother and say, "Mother, now I take you and I give you a place. And by doing so, I let go of my destructive conduct." And then your father's father says to him, "She is your mother, and it is fine for you to take her. Now I accept this. She is your mother, and it is fine for you to take her. Now I accept this." Okay, wonderful. You can now open your eyes. So by taking, when we're talking family constellation, it means that we take life energy for them. We give them a place in the system. We give them their place as our parents. And therefore, energy, life energy flows to us from them. Often when we are young, if we perceive that one of our parents doesn't like, for example, if our dad doesn't like that we're like our mom in character or appearance or whatever, then we might, out of loyalty to our dad, not take our mom. And so it creates all these blocks in energy flow to us that we need to unravel and unblock. So we have done one of these things today. So we've hopefully helped our father too, if your father is still with us. And we are now going to see if something else is needed. So after this exercise, do we need to acknowledge the transformation? We need to go somewhere else. Okay, to something else from Maggie Block, to something from resonance repatterning. Yes. So we're going to a repatterning, to an intention, to problems. Excuse me. Lots of yawning today. I'm shifting a lot of energy. So we're going to into problems, into opportunities. So what is needed? We need to identify another problem. We need anything from the problem section. We need to go to the opportunity section. Do we need acceptance? Do we need underlying need? Do we need what we want instead? No, we need something else. Point of choice, positive feeling, an action, a strength, a neurotransmitter, peptide, endorphin, a brain structure and brainwave. Okay, so we're going to look for a brain structure and brainwave. I'm going to go to Tup's book. So what brainwave is needed? Is it alpha? Is it theta? It's delta? It's beta? It's 13 to 20? It's 21? It's 22? 22 cycles per second. And where do we need this? Is it the cerebral, the limbic, the reptilian, the cerebellum, the midbrain, the pons, medulla oblongata, reticular formation, the brainstem? All right, and the brainstem. Do we need the correlation for the brainstem? No. So the brainstem controls cyclical activities like sleep-wake cycles, amongst other things. So this is what we need. This is general. Please say 22 cycles per second in my brainstem. Checking resonance for the group. That is off. Something else is needed from problems. It's forgiveness. It's a harmonic correlation. It's a coherent non-compensation. It's the note. It's the octave. It's the correlation. It's the note. Okay. So it's C through F. It's F sharp. We need the note of F sharp. Oops. Let's find out the exact frequency that's needed here. It's this number. It's more. It's 270, 71, 72, 75, 280, 76, and 77. This is general. So please say the note of F sharp at 377 cycles per second. Checking resonance. It's off. All right, something else is needed from problems. Do we need to shift this energy? Do we need the Spiral Up tool from the Spiral Up book, from A, from B, from C, from D, from E, from F? We need an energy contact. 1 through 5, through 10, 6, 7. Harmonizing contact. So that harmonizing contact uses the power of the belly button, which is the center of your vital energy from the body, where the fetus is connected to life through the umbilical cord, combined with an equally powerful acupuncture point on the triple heater meridian. One of the functions of the triple heater meridian is to balance our temperature and bring harmony to all functions of the body-mind system. The contact point for the triple heater meridian is a spirit level point known as heavenly window. This point brings a sense of light and harmony when you are experiencing darkness, disharmony, or lack of love. Sounds wonderful. So what we're going to do is we need to put the left hand, the right hand on the belly button. So we're going to bring the fingers and thumb together and place them over the belly button. And then it's the middle, it's the index finger on the hollow of the skull behind the ear, under the base of the skull, to where there is a V between your jaw and the skull. There's like a little V, and there's a point there, like on the fleshy part. And you just hold that and breathe, tongue on the roof of your mouth, feet on the floor, so you're grounded. And now we're going to switch hands, so fingers of the left hand together and in front of the belly button, and put your right index finger on the point behind, underneath your right ear. And breathe again. All right, is this complete? It is complete, so you can relax your hands. Take a sip of water. And now we're now ready to reach out the statements. We are. Let's go back up to the top here. So please say, and as you say these, repeat these statements, see how they feel different in your body. All right? Make some space on my table here. Here we go. Please say, I cannot receive intimacy. And that is off. I do not receive what nurtures me from my intimates. That is also off. It is my intimate's obligation to help me be better. That's off. My intimates have control and power over what happens to me. Checking resonance. That's off. If I receive from my intimates, I lose control. Resonance. That's off. I exclude my family system's perpetrators. Resonance. That's off. I am close to everything that is different from my beliefs. Taking resonance for the group. That's off. My intimates are like my father. Taking resonance. That's off. Nothing is of any use. Resonance. That's off. Out of love for my father, I fail. Checking resonance. That's off. This one is umbilical, so fingers in front of your belly button. Please say, I receive intimacy and what nurtures me from my intimates. Checking resonance. That is on umbilically now. Good. I accept and appreciate. You can relax your hand. This one is not umbilical. Please say, I accept and appreciate what my intimates can give me. That is on. My intimates stand beside me, helping me to face my circumstances. Checking resonance. That's on. I honor my parents and receive plenty of what my intimates give me. That's on. I acknowledge the systemic causes of my patterns and heal them. That's on. I accept that my intimates' values are different from mine. That's on. My intimates let me be in charge of my life. Checking resonance. That's on. What I receive is useful. Checking resonance. It's on. Out of love for my father, I succeed. Checking resonance. That's on. Right, 2 more. 22 cycles per second in my brainstem. Checking for the group. That's on. The note of F sharp at 377 cycles per second. Checking resonance. That is on. So everything has shifted. Is something else needed at this time? Is this session complete? It is complete. Thank you all for joining me today. I will be sending you the session notes if you were part of the group who participated. And if not, I hope to see you participate in another session coming up sometime soon. So we have 2 sessions in February that are group sessions that are coming up. One is the lung meridian session, which where we will be working a repatterning that was specifically designed for the lung meridian, which is all about allowing for love, divine energy that supports us into our system. That's what the lungs job is. So, and then on the 28th of, that is on the 20th of February. And on the 28th of February, I am doing a scalar heart session, group session on passion, which can be a very strong motivational force in any area of our life. So join me for that if you would like to experience a scalar heart session. And then next month, we have actually the beginning of spring. So I'm going to be doing a session on March 1st that will align our wood energy for the beginning of spring in the Northern Hemisphere. And if you're in the Southern Hemisphere, then I will be conducting a session on the same date for aligning for metal, which is the energy of the autumn. And then our next qualities group session is around understanding, acceptance, and spirituality, and that will be on March 10th. I hope to see you in one of those sessions soon. Visit my website for more details, anasa360.com. Thanks for joining me today and take care. Bye-bye.